In life, there comes a moment when you aspire to develop new habits or rid yourself of certain vices. Undoubtedly, at some point, you've harbored a strong desire to instigate change, to begin improving and acting rightly. However, as you've likely come to realize, this endeavor is far more challenging than it appears. We've all faced failure at some juncture, unable to achieve what we set out to do. An integral part of becoming better individuals is arduous for everyone: discipline. How many times have you crafted a plan, committed to your goal, only to falter after a few days, succumbing to impulses and reverting to your former self? As mentioned, this is a shared experience among us all. Yet, its commonality does not render it acceptable or suggest that we should normalize such occurrences. Normalizing mediocrity merely beckons us to mediocrity, to complacency, to forfeiting the urge to challenge ourselves in life, and ultimately, to forfeiting the chance to become the best version of ourselves. Let me assert this: if you struggle to overcome your vices, alter your habits, or fulfill your objectives, you likely lack discipline. Discipline is the capacity to overcome short-term desires. Short-term desires pose a formidable obstacle to habit change. Therefore, to effect such change, we must necessarily cultivate our discipline. It is simply the act of doing what you must do, when you must do it, even if you don't want to. In this video, I'll elucidate why discipline is paramount for achieving our endeavors. We'll also delve into why it's becoming increasingly arduous to be disciplined, and I'll provide several tips for honing your discipline. Before we commence, I'd appreciate it if you could like the video, as it aids in disseminating this philosophy to more individuals. If you don't want to miss any future videos, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Historically, the wise advocate for self-mastery, promoting self-examination, self-control, responsibility, and objectivity. All these facets aid us in living virtuously, leading fulfilling lives. And the most basic tool for virtuous living? Discipline. It affords us freedom by granting us the power of choice. In the modern world, people are enslaved by their desires. Those who live as slaves to their desires will likely never acknowledge it, believing themselves to be free because they always indulge in their whims. True freedom, however, entails the capacity for choice. Who do you reckon is freer? A lazy individual who habitually oversleeps and shirks responsibilities, or someone who rises early and consistently fulfills their duties? Initially, it may seem that the lazy one is freer, as they do as they please. But in truth, they lack genuine choice. The disciplined individual, on the other hand, possesses that choice. They can opt to be lazy or responsible. Each morning presents them with this choice. They choose discipline because they recognize it as the right path. This concept applies to any vice you can imagine. Now that we've established that discipline renders us freer, let's delve into what it truly means to be disciplined. Whenever we have a goal, whether it's losing weight, building a business, becoming an elite athlete, or a remarkable musician, it necessitates effort. However, exerting effort for a single day won't suffice. It demands continual effort. And to sustain this effort, we must conquer our impulses. The ability to act despite the temptation not to is discipline. Being disciplined doesn't mean you'll never feel the urge to slack off. It simply means you've developed the capacity to resist that urge. The more you resist such impulses, the better equipped you become to do so in the future. Discipline is akin to a muscle, it strengthens with use. It's crucial to differentiate between discipline and motivation. While motivation is a potent force for achievement, it's inconsistent. One day, you may awaken brimming with motivation, only for it to vanish the next. Relying solely on motivation renders one incapable of effecting lasting change or achieving goals, as sustained effort is requisite. However, when one is disciplined, the dynamic shifts. Motivation may kickstart your journey, but when it wanes, discipline takes the reins, propelling you forward. Do you believe an elite athlete always feels like training? Or that a successful writer always wants to write? Or that the most prosperous entrepreneur always desires to work? Here lies the disparity between those content with mediocrity and those striving for improvement. We all yearn to lounge on the sofa or stay in bed, yet not everyone can transcend this desire. This is where the disciplined hold an advantage, and why, in the modern world, there's a scarcity of discipline. Why is it increasingly challenging to be disciplined nowadays? Because life is becoming easier. When survival is at stake, there's no room for shirking responsibilities. However, when life becomes facile, two conditions arise, impeding the cultivation of discipline: temptations and diminished resilience. We're besieged by more temptations and distractions than ever before, from television to social media, all vying for our attention. Many are designed to ensnare us, keeping us engaged. We wield unparalleled power through the internet, offering limitless distractions. I'm not implying these are inherently detrimental, but it's incumbent upon us to manage our time effectively. Moreover, an easier life affords fewer opportunities to practice discipline. As aforementioned, discipline is akin to a muscle, it atrophies without use. In the modern world, discipline is not imperative for survival. Amazon ensures next-day deliveries, Netflix grants instant entertainment, and social media provides dopamine hits at will. Our ability to exercise discipline diminishes as a result. Seneca's aphorism encapsulates this predicament succinctly: there is no one more unfortunate than the man to whom the arrival of difficulties has been postponed. Alas, the world is eliminating sources of resistance necessary for fostering discipline. Comfort, in itself, is not deleterious. It's a tool, one that can be wielded for good or ill. It's when comfort breeds complacency that it becomes problematic. Everyone relishes lounging on the sofa, yet discipline is uncomfortable. It entails discomfort because it entails suffering. However, this discomfort catalyzes growth, engendering a sense of progress, accomplishment, and conquest. It delineates the limits of our capability, enabling us to surpass them. So, how do we cultivate discipline? The initial step is to identify a purpose, to delineate a goal you wish to achieve. Discipline, like a muscle, must be trained. To bolster our discipline, we must expose ourselves to discomfort deliberately. Just as you wouldn't attempt to lift 300 kilograms on your first day at the gym, start with small challenges. Each fulfilled objective constitutes a repetition, fortifying our discipline. Here are some goal ideas to cultivate discipline: regular exercise, participation in local sports events, acquiring a new hobby, embarking on a construction project, and waking up early. Gradually increase the difficulty of your challenges, and soon, you'll find yourself capable of surmounting more formidable goals. Each conquest is a stride toward self-mastery. I hope this video serves as a valuable resource in your quest for discipline, or at the very least, inspires you to surpass yourself. Lastly, I encourage you to subscribe to the channel for more Stoicism-infused content. I've included links to 2 videos brimming with historical wisdom in the description. Until next time.